Be a building in there. Upper May of now.
Yeah. The first. Nice.
Yeah, almost not. You never been big. You're gonna be like, big that.
I guess
Especially in certain.
Six 6:30, we'd like to call the meeting to order with a pledge to the flag, please. I pledge to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. First on our agenda is the approval of last month's, actually, August, approval of the minutes for the planning commission. May I have a motion?
Make a move that we accept the minutes as provided for the August meeting.
Second. Discussion, all in favor?
Yeah. Thanks. No.
Remember last time?
Yeah.
Then it needs to be amended.
Next on our agenda, actually, we're going to, was there any correspondence, Annie?
No.
We're going to switch the agenda from what's fourth. We're going to move the 10th and the 11th, the Southern Tier Tire Mart at Pilot. We're going to switch that, but we're going to have that now. So who's here representing Southern Tier Tire?
Kind of.
Okay.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi everyone. My name is Tom Kadelhan. I'm a civil engineer at Kinley Horn and the engineer of record for the Southern Tire Mart in Summit Township. I'm here with Trent Rhodes, who is a representative for the developer for Travel Services Realty. So we'll be here to answer any questions you might have. I thought first I could probably just dive into the project, go through the site plan, a couple of high-level items, and then we can take it to any questions or comments following that. Okay, are you guys able to see the screen?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay, great. So the Erie Southern Tire Mart project, it's located at 8055 Perry Highway in Erie. So here's just a Google Maps overview of the project location. As you can see, we have the Presque Isle Casino to the east. We have I-90 right here in the Pilot Travel Center to the north of our project. And our subject project is actually right here in this development, which is a combination of this impervious area here and these existing buildings and green space right next to it. So this is the proposed site plan for the Southern Tire Mart. It is a approximately 13,000 square foot an automobile service facility, which will be mostly used for, or actually only used for large truck maintenance. If we zoom in on the building, as you can see, it's a 12,828 square foot building. There are 5 service bays located on this building for truck maintenance. On the front of the building, you can see we have some associated parking for employees, as well as an entryway to the building. On the side here, we have additional parking for employees, as well as our electric utilities. And then in the rear of the building is where we have a dumpster enclosure right in the middle, as well as the entrance to the 5 service bays for the larger trucks. So the use of this site in terms of traffic will, again, the majority of it will be for larger tractor trailer vehicles. That's why this driveway is a little wider than typical, so we can make sure that the turning movements into this site can comply with those larger trucks. The only passenger vehicles that will really be utilizing this site will be the employees on site, which are about 6 per shift at maximum. A brief overview of the grading and drainage for this project. So the runoff from the building and from the access drive, all of the impervious that we're proposing on site will be conveying to a proposed infiltration basin right next to the access road. This basin will ultimately discharge planned west into Walnut Creek right here. So there's an existing inlet on this existing drive that we'll be tying into that discharges directly into the creek. A quick overview on utilities for the project. So we will be utilizing sanitary, water, gas, telecom, and electric. On the sanitary and water front, we'll be tying into, there's an existing water line and an existing sanitary line, both separate. On the planned west side of the project, it kind of follows Walnut Creek. So we'll be looking at tie in along this side of the property. For gas, telecom, and electric, we will be anticipating to tie into Perry Highway for those utilities. A couple other items with the project. We have provided a green space plan for this project. So we will be utilizing a combination of trees and shrubs to follow the perimeter of the property. So as you can see here, we have kind of a tree and shrub combination to go around the property here, as well as in front of the property. Additionally, we also have a 5-foot sidewalk that we'll be incorporating along the property frontage per ordinance requirements. A couple of notes regarding some previous meetings about this project. So we did have a zoning variance hearing for this project for parking spaces. So that's why we show a total of 10 parking spaces here instead of what's required is 33. We got variance relief back, I believe that was in February. And then I guess beyond that, just some updates with how we're doing with other agencies in the area. We have a PennDOT application that is currently under review. We received one comment from PennDOT. They just want to see a completed stormwater report before issuing an HOP. So as soon as we have an approved stormwater report, we'll be sending that their way. We are currently under technical review with Erie County Conservation District. So we should be expecting comments within a week or two. We've been working pretty closely with Tom at the district to make sure we're addressing all of his needs. We're working with Summit Township Sewer Authority with Bill in regards to sanitary tapping fees and capacity. And then we're also working on our applications with Penelec and natural fuel gas for those utility tie-ins as well. So that's pretty high level status and overview of the project. Here to answer any questions or go through the latest comment letter, whatever you guys would like to do.
I had one quick question for you about flow. Well, actually, I got two questions, but traffic flow so is generally in on State Road 97, and then do you take, would the trucks take that route to the right of that building itself and then come in through the back? Is that the way this works, or do they come in through the front?
Yeah, so the way we have a truck turning plan. I don't have it in this set per se, but the circulation will essentially be trucks will enter Perry, this new entrance on Perry Highway. They'll come around, come through the bay, and then we're looking at the trucks exiting through this driveway apron here and utilizing this existing driveway within Perry Highway to leave the site.
Okay, all right. The other concern I had, and perhaps Matt, is there historically, is there a concern about stormwater runoff in that area? Was there coming down off the adjacent roads in the neighborhoods, was that a critical, was there an infiltration problem there at one time?
Infiltration's always hit or miss in Summit Township. I know Dollar General down the road at one point claimed they had infiltration, but whenever they went to put it in, they didn't. I think they had a fluky test over top of a septic tank and it threw them off. These folks did numerous infiltration tests. They don't have a high infiltration rate, but they do have an infiltration rate. But this area is prone to flooding. As many of you know, there's been a number of times where 97 is completely underwater in that area, and they have taken that into account with their stormwater design as well.
Okay, that's why I brought it up. It looked quite elaborate, we kind of stay out of stormwater management anyway, but I just thought I'd ask the question because...
Yeah, it's not your typical stormwater plan. It was more involved, and I handled through the process.
Okay. All right, that's all I have.
Does there have to be some kind of an agreement with Pilot to have that X-ring exiting onto that driveway?
The driveway is on their property, so.
Oh, it is.
And I think there is an easement agreement with it, because way long time ago that was Langdon Road, and the township turned it over to Pilot, and there's like a private easement there.
Any other questions on the board? Call for motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the plan as accepted, with the understanding that there are still outstanding permissions, et cetera, that the developer has to have. So, other than that,
And this is just for the land development.
right, you're right, just for the land development.
Thanks.
So I'll make the motion.
I need a second.
I'll second it.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Now, next on the agenda is the stormwater, or the green space for the same property.
Thank you very much, everyone, for your time.
Not done yet.
Oh, sorry.
Green space, yeah. Have two separate motions for that.
Got it.
Continue board for green space.
Rick, is this an alternate? Is it alternate? It is an alternate. And it's an alternate, why again?
It's an alternate because of the existing driveway. They can't run it along the perimeter of the property, but essentially, if you made the driveway the perimeter, it meets the green space ordinance.
So that was the only exception.
Correct.
So, pretty.
Straightforward. Any other questions? Call for motion?
Make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Tom. We're gonna go ahead and leave the meeting now.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night.
Now, next on our agenda is Robin Yeaple, the replat.
Representing, are you representing the replat?
Yeah, you need me to come up or anything, or just? Yeah, we're just, to divide an existing parcel, and we're splitting that in two. Ron Mann is, adding a portion of that to his existing parcel, and I'm adding a portion of that to my existing parcel in the home. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it is.
Questions from the board? Need a call for motion then?
We make a motion to accept the plan as presented.
Seconded.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Next on our agenda is Auto Express amended land development plan for. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Kevin Farr, with David Laird Associates, and I am here to help answer any questions you might have. Basically, it's just he's constructing a 4,600 square foot building addition over top of existing pavement, and tying the downspouts into an existing stormwater facility.
Those have been engineered to be, of course, it's already impervious, right?
Yeah. So,
We're looking at Kia first, right?
I'm sorry, yes. Straightforward.
I know,
Very
it's,
straightforward.
there's no, parking spaces aren't changing or anything like that, right?
no, and it's mainly just used for storage and wasn't any delineated parking back there.
Well,
For a truck in there out there?
that's exactly, will a fire truck make it or?
There's nothing parked back there.
Yeah, there's enough room for fire truck or.
But there's no parking? Is there gonna be no parking sign?
There is some parking there, but even with it, there's room for a fire truck or, I mean, we're mainly parked to the side, so I guess, we don't really have parking spaces back there. But now and then I'll see somebody park there.
Looking at it, just going by the parking stalls, there's probably 20 plus feet of room behind.
With no cars?
And the ordinance requirement for a building this size is only 50% perimeter, so.
Questions from the board? The call for motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the plans as presented.
Seconded.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And now the PF, sorry.
Yeah, I'm still here. Which are very similar, he's looking to construct a 3,500 square foot building addition over top of existing pavement.
Use the same drawing.
No, different site, but
Oh, okay.
I think this one, we were removing slightly some parking,
6 of them for,
yeah.
so do we need to?
Recalculate.
They did redo the parking tabulations, they're well within the range that's acceptable, so. If you recall with the new zoning ordinance, the parking requirements aren't as intense as they were before, so usually people have more parking than what's required now.
Any concerns with lighting or anything? We've been through that, or?
I don't think they proposed any lighting.
No, there's no additional lighting. There's, like on the back of the current building, there's a wall pack, you know, that would just light the, and that would be moved to the back of the new. You know, there's a camera on the back, which will be moved to the new rear of the.
Yeah, and we have
There's
about,
no pole lighting.
and we have about a half mile to the back until you reach the next house, so.
I have a question. Are these buildings gonna be used for mechanical work, car washing, or just?
I believe there was some intent for car wash, but
Mechanical. work.
Mechanical,
And that this proposed building, there would be a wash bay.
okay,
So we could wash our own cars, because right now, that facility is using the Power Sports garage to wash the cars for sale. And it works, but this would be more convenient, make a bay at that location to wash cars.
Any other questions? Call for motion?
I'll make a motion before we second that.
I'll second the motion.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Very, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks.
Good, Billy.
Hi, good evening. Hi, Mike Sanford, 4721 Atlantic. And Dominic Molino's with me tonight. If you have any questions I can't answer. But basically, this is a preliminary plan. Hammett Village started a long time ago. Phase 1 got built, and then it stalled out. So Dominic is interested in purchasing the remainder of the property from Mr. and Mrs. Kurtz and would like to do 44 lots, buildable lots, and then 2 pawn lots. So 46 lots total, 44 for home. He would like to do two final phases, phase 2 and 3. We put that on the plan. So this is a preliminary plan just to make sure that the board's okay with our overall layout, and then we'll move on with final planning later. Just a few things, just run down a quick list here. The lots will be served, of course, by public sewer and public water. There are 3 small wetland areas on the project. They're shown on the plan, but we don't anticipate them being impacted by any development. We do, of course, the roads be proposed public roads, some are township roads. There are some options, whether they're curbed, rolled curved, or uncurbed. We're choosing the uncurbed road. That would be our preference for this. First, public sidewalks are proposed, street lights are proposed, and Engineer Jonas had some review comments, which I attended to. All the lots now comply with your square footage, both the normal lots and the corner lots. We did provide some roadway plan and profiles as required. He had a couple comments on those, and we talked on the phone, and I made that revision. I talked to Supervisor Welka, the roadmaster, about the shape of the cul-de-sac and the way they plow, and I now understand it stands a little bit better. So we switched the cul-de-sac to accommodate the way the plow actually dumps the snow off. So I think this is a better plan from that as well. I did talk to Bill Steff at the Sewer Authority, and the sewage planning for this is already done. It was actually done like 20 years ago with phase 1. And sewage planning modules don't expire. So Bill said we don't need to do any new sewage planning. So that's already in place. And like I mentioned, this is a preliminary plan. After we receive approvals from the supervisor, we're going to start our work right away on the final planning, which will be stormwater, NPDES, sanitary water, grading, drainage. And Matt had a couple of comments that I'll get to in the final plan. about tying all the downspouts in so we don't have issues neighbor to neighbor. And also there's just to make sure we accommodate the drainage coming off of Saddlewood properly and we get it through this development on its way further north. So,
Yeah, because you do have some density. I mean, it's not absolute density, but with density, you know, you can get runoff, you got a lot of impervious.
yep,
I mean, you guys don't handle that in stormwater management.
yep, exactly. Here tonight to answer any questions. Like I said, Dominic's here if you have any questions for him.
On a crown road, if that's what you're proposing, how do you address the water coming off the road and then from the lot?
Essentially, we're gonna have to have some type of swale on each side of the road. You're gonna have a crowned road, it's gonna drain down, but the W section has fallen out of favor. So that's,
Yeah.
so we're not keeping the water on the road anymore. And if we don't have curbs, that means the water's gotta get off the road and really you're gonna have small swales.
So you're between the sidewalk and the road.
Correct, you'd have a small swale.
So how do you address that between lots?
Uh,
Because they have a driveway that now you have a driveway blocking that.
we swale the driveways. I know that sounds crazy, but they swale the driveways down and let the water, of course, every so often, every couple, 300 feet, you have a catch basin. But still, the driveways would have to be swaled. Well, yeah,
So it won't be straight.
no,
It's
it would
like
dip
level.
down, yeah. If the lot sat high enough, you can sometimes squeak a pipe under the driveway, but I think we're gonna be swaling the driveways.
I don't know, I can't see anything else in here. I'm trying to think. We were sitting around looking at this, and I was thinking, man, it'd be nice if we had more than one exit entrance, but, you know, it's the old, but I understand that, it's the way it's developed.
Either questions or concerns from the board?
This is preliminary, right, so you're not looking for a motion or anything?
I thought do we vote on preliminary?
Make a motion then that we approve the plan as presented with the relation that this is not a final plan. Is that correct?
This is the preliminary plan, yes.
I have a question on any of the stormwater, or any of the catch basins, well, the stormwater management basins.
Mhm.
You fencing, is it any just open land for the kids to play, or?
Well, we don't know yet. And what I mean by that is we need to start doing some test pits. Conservation District, step one, you gotta do test pits. You gotta figure out whether your property infiltrates or not. If it infiltrates, then we could make these two basins infiltration basins, which means they'll be dry unless it rains. Now, there are some wetlands out there, so sometimes you just don't get the infiltration. So we have to decide if it's an infiltration basin, if it's a rain garden, or if it's like a wet pond. And we just simply don't know that right now without getting the test pits done. One of those three. If it goes down the road of a wet pond, Summit's one of the few townships that does have a fencing requirement. So we'd have to discuss that at the final plan.
And there's sidewalks, so there'd be sidewalks all along those stormwater basins, is that one side?
Yes, when Engineer Jonas and I spoke, the expectation is 5-foot sidewalks on both sides of the street. And Tammy, could I ask, can we record the preliminary, or you don't record them?
No.
You don't record them? We still have 5-year protection from the supervisor's approval. Okay, gotcha. And would your board sign the plan then? Okay, and then I'll take it down to Erie County Planning. Okay.
So my motion still stands? Yes, I was a little premature, so.
All right. Need a second?
I'll second it.
Any more discussion or question? Okay, you gotta have something to play.
Take it easy.
Vote.
Aye.
All right, thank you all very much.
And subdivision of Town Hall Road.
All right, I think I'm representing this one tonight.
That's it.
So, the Lakens own all the parcels on this land. So they have the large 50-acre plus lot. I might be off on my numbers, but maybe I'm wrong. But they purchased the lot on the corner, and what they're looking to do is use their main parcel and do a replot on the corner lot to bring that up to about 2 acres, and then divide their residual lot into 2 lots along LaBuck Creek, using LaBuck Creek as property line. Not typical, but perfectly legal. So as LaBuck Creek changes, the property line would change as well. So they have sewage, existing septics on lots 1 and the parcel A. And then the lot 2 that they're creating, they're going to use the non-build lot waiver. It's currently used as farmland, and it'll continue to be used as farmland after the subdivision.
That's it. Can't see that for interest.
Which other one, Lori? Do I have to abstain?
Oh, no, it's fine.
Only if they're family.
Yeah,
Well, no.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Promotion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second. More discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. I guess, now to the Allen Road subdivision.
Somebody had to be last. Any consolation staying late?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, our purpose here is to create a 2-acre, just a hair over, parcel. This is the parcel to be created. Parent parcel right now goes right around here, so we're cutting off this corner. In order to get septic approval, there's a proposed URSUS site, right there. And that will be covered with an easement in favor of parcel A for the installation and maintenance of the septic site there for sewage disposal. The only comment I had from the engineer was the existing well and that services the existing residents there, and that's about right there, straight out from the house, straight out from the garage. There's an existing well there, existing sand mound there that serves this house too.
Or the sound now is supposed to be away from property.
A minimum of 10 feet.
Okay. Does that convolute things with having that septic site off-site?
The proposed, it was the best option as far as the parent retaining as much property as he wanted
But they
to.
really
Gave
can't
them.
need it, or really.
I mean,
shouldn't say use it, but it's not theirs.
Right, right,
Life changes, that's a good
yeah.
alternative to have your system on somebody else's property.
Yeah, that's a proposed plan at this time anyway.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean,
It's a,
violating, there's nothing against the ordinance, right?
No, but
It's a really.
Right.
It's ugly later. I can't see that.
mhm. It is a burden to the parent parcel
Correct.
on that, yeah.
And, boy, when life changes, as
Yeah.
it does.
Sometimes if things get sold, you know this.
Yeah, with the deed, I mean, and whoever would buy that, residue parent or the parent parcel, it's an easement, it's on there. They'll be well aware of what they have there, hopefully, in that situation, yeah.
Yeah, for subdivision, I guess, I mean, other than the eyebrow raiser there where it's located, but.
And that septic site must have been planned for when they were doing the exploring the abilities to put it there.
Yeah, test pits, they have, I'm just showing the success of test pits on there. They tried.
It makes sense to have it part of the parking, but I don't know that you can extend just convolutes future.
Well, it's kind of like this elbowing shaped easement, that's kind of difficult to work with too, from a real estate standpoint. I mean, it's got weird angles and corners and. So I don't know what you do. I mean,
What abilities, I guess, nothing from this point? We can't-
I don't know if we have anything to tell them to include it on the lot, 'cause they have an easement on it, makes it legal. But, my thought is, I'm looking at that, I'm like, it's already basically gonna be their property anyways, because the other people can't use
Yeah.
it for anything other than,
Allow them to put their stuff there.
yeah.
so should it be just too vague?
But I'm not,
That's
Right, all
legality, I mean, that's,
Okay.
we can't really say. Just thinking out.
I'll pass all along to the client and once we have the subdivision through, as things change or the foresight, there's always option of its property line replot,
yeah.
which could cover
Well,
that.
I just look at it from the phone calls we get at the township,
Yes.
and granted, there's an easement, and they should be aware of it, but a lot of times, they aren't.
Real estate.
And it's not until they go in there and start like, oh, no, put my swing set there, and then they find all the muck, and we get called, and that's when things come to light.
I have a question. What is the septic system and the plan calling for?
As I understand it, it's
It's in,
not quite a sand mound. There's an infiltration area there, and it's aeration system?
It's kind of like
A spray system? Yeah. So it gets,
they have like, almost like watering your lawn, just not with clean water.
so that makes it even uglier yet.
I had to look it up myself.
okay.
So that just makes it, to me, uglier down the road.
Oh,
Well, it's a DEP approved plan, right?
DEP approved plan, yeah.
So I guess.
right.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, they're always right.
So,
I mean,
Okay, then I need offer motion. Everybody's looking at you, Chris.
Wow, okay. Not all the meetings this week, this is gonna be the one. I'm making a motion to.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Chris. All in favor?
Aye.
With the reserve. Thank you.
okay, thank you.
Can get ugly, but they don't do anything.
I'll give them yours.
Discussion.
Well, I mean,
Next on our agenda is, comprehensive plan implementation update ordinance amendment recommendations.
it's a human show tonight.
Do you have a copy? Or no?
Is it solar farm?
Yeah.
Okay.
So amendment to the Summit Township zoning ordinance 2021-02 regarding solar energy system. You could already have a copy of it. I'm not gonna read it line by line. But I had a chance to look at that, I did get some feedback. Supervisors believe that with increasing energy demand and interest in the solar energy placement on properties, they felt that we should amend and take a look at our existing section on solar energy systems. So we added some definitions, and we now have solar energy systems principal and solar energy systems accessory instead of solar energy farm and small solar energy. So kind of cleaned up some of the definitions. We added some more restrictions with the design standards, and we have to have a minimum lot size of 25 acres. That wasn't in there before. We have height requirements and our new setback requirements set up following the zoning ordinance in that particular district. It's a minimum of 150 feet from any residential property lines, 150 feet from non-residential property lines, minimum 150 feet from the road right away. We talked about impervious coverage. They have to follow the stormwater management, the Summit Township stormwater management ordinance. Requiring a fence, 8-foot fence, a Knox lock, there's green space requirement. Drive must be 18-foot per way, and also we added some information on here regarding decommissioning.
How do you monitor
In regards to decommissioning.
that? Yeah, I mean, how do you know that it's? There is.
But it's one of those things that if you don't put it in, then it's an omission. If you do put it in, it's at least telling them, look, we know that these are hard to decommission and there's no known economical way of recycling solar panels as of today. So they're gonna have to come up with they're on notice. In other words, anybody who reads notice this ordinance is on notice that we're wise to this.
Right, it has to be removed 12 months from the abandonment termination of use. I mean, it's like the code enforcement officer notices a sign that's been up there and he knows they've been out of business for, 3 years. They need to do something with that.
Sure.
They do notify them.
I guess-
And I think a solar panel farmer, the energy system, I think that, we're gonna know where they're at.
Sure.
Now, there's some small accessory units out there right now. There's some folks putting solar panels on roofs.
Yeah.
And there's smaller energy systems behind some folks' houses, but we haven't come across where somebody wanted to create a field of solar panels. So we're just trying to be proactive and trying to not kind of stuff out and.
Well, I put one over in Green, if I remember that. You have to be close to power distribution or substation, or someone's packed with substations and power distribution and everything, so.
It isn't gonna be a special exception, in the resources rule as a principal solar energy system and a special exception in RLD, the residential low density. So there's some additional requirements that they have to adhere to, as well as if they're from the zoning board, they might add conditions.
So if you're in R&D and you want to add solar on the ground, it's a zoning, that's a variance? Is that what I'm doing? you're not in low density, you're in medium density, you have to go forward.
So if you had a small unit that you need, like a structure, then you would
Right.
get your regular zoning permit. But if you wanted to, you know,
Could you define the size difference?
let's get the size differences in here. Well, ground mounted accessory solar energy systems may not exceed the permitted height of accessory structures.
I guess my question is, should there be?
So if it was a roof mount or, structure in the backyard, say maybe like a 20 by 20, are you asking if they should go under that special
Yeah,
exception?
yeah, I think that would be a special exception. Especially if you're, well, we've got the stormwater management thing. So
Right,
it's
yeah.
not impervious, so.
Right.
And the main thing, I like it, I mean, and the main thing that's driving this is the, I guess, the concern, is that still a House bill? Or is that a governor-sponsored bill going through the legislature about overriding local zoning on solar installation? So in other words, if you want to come in, they can override local zoning.
Yeah, I mean, that's still.
That's a concern, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is a concern.
You don't know about that? There's a,
Yeah.
well, yeah, to come in and.
Override.
Yeah,
Some,
with a state law that overrides local zoning. This happens in our lawyer.
On anything or solar?
On solar, and there's also movement afoot about turning abandoned or unused commercial property into housing, multi-unit housing.
well,
Yeah, it's something like that, so you know. you see-
Affordable housing.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, every time you hear, yeah, and I'm not against housing, I think there is a housing shortage, I understand all that, but, you know, if we start using all the euphemisms to describe it, I mean, these commercial entities that are off the track are concrete. You know, there's not a green space, you know, attached to it or anything like that, where are all the young people gonna go? I mean, there's a lot of concern about things like this, but with the solar, it basically is saying there's a lot of lobbying going on that says, yeah, you know, these local zoning requirements, we always have to give the local zoning authority or local township a cookie. We have to throw them a cookie like we build a high school gymnasium or something like that. And then we come in and we're in good straits, you know, we're happy and the locals are happy. And I don't think they want to pay that money out. That's my personal opinion. They don't want to do that. They just want carte blanche from at the state level that says, yeah, we want to come in and put one where we want to put it. So, and again, I mean, River's a proponent for solar power. I am a proponent for solar power for the reasons I've stated many, many times. But there's a right way to do it, a wrong way to do it. If it's done the wrong way, the people 20 years, 15 years even from now are going to be dealing with it.
And there's an existing in my subdivision, roof mounted
Yeah,
accessory. And he's had it down there for a year.
Yeah.
So he was not required for a permit of any type prior to.
no, because it's on his structure, right?
Right, he wasn't required to get a zoning permit, however, he was required to get a building permit. So it was inspected through the guy.
So we'll get his name.
I mean, no guys.
Right answer.
Hey, what's this,
Street of 11 houses.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, I don't know how profitable it's for him, I don't know the guy, but he installed it last year. And I kind of watched it a little bit, you know, in the winter time, just to see what kind of issues he had. Didn't seem to have any issue.
Yeah, the people that I know, I got a neighbor who's got it, they like it. So,
It's below the roof line. The
Yeah.
top of the top panel is slightly below the roof line. we should walk across the street.
So that's something to think about as an accessory. Do you think that we should take it through the zoning hearing board to get through the panels and small lumber? Because right now, there isn't, it's saying accessory to the special exception. So do you want to say unless it's roof mounted, unless it's under.
I think some kind of dimension's gotta be put on some, and just because all of a sudden now, there's not.
Well, we have wording about storing RVs in front of the residence, right? You know, because if they're behind or to the side and off in the back, then it's a different, otherwise if it's front, you're on a 90-day clock, is what I understand. So if we suggested that already, what about these ground-mounted installations that'll end up in front yards? Is that?
Well, it's still a structure that's required. Still have to adhere to the front yard setback in that zoning district. And as far as a residential accessory structure to a roof, I mean, we're talking about, when we talk about this amended zoning rights, we're talking about two different districts, RLD, these sort of rural. But you dealt in R&D, pointed it for the couple gallons on your roof. This is saying that pretty much it's not allowed.
Right, and
So is that, are you gonna allow, I think that we should allow at least, R&D.
The zoning hearing for a variance, is that what you're saying, the variance process, or include R&D with RLD?
Well, I'm saying, I think that we need to come up with a dimension of square feet of, we're talking about accessory is more than, 200 square feet.
I think you have to define that somehow.
Yeah.
So like, for example, like, I don't issue zoning permits for a shed that's less than 100 square feet.
There you go, that'd be the precedent then, so panel, what is the
But
name?
you still have to keep the setback. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
What I'm saying, like, if we would plan the
Solar panel.
setback, you would have to say.
4 feet by 2, does that sound right? And like no, those are square. If I say 4 feet by 2, so you got 8 per panel, you're gonna put up an average installation, probably what, 25, 30 panels or something like that? I don't know, 80.
Or you can be specific and say roof mounted structures are exempt from.
So I like that. I personally like that one because it's gonna go on the roof. I mean, they've already got, and it's not gonna it's not gonna impact any stormwater management calculation or anything up there. So I think if it's on the roof, it should be okay. If it goes on the ground, even if it goes on the roof, they gotta get a building
It's not
permit.
a building permit, right?
So if it goes on the ground, then maybe there should be a square foot. Is that, are we knocking on the right door here?
I think you are.
The economics of it. The economics don't match.
Yeah, the people that are putting in these farms have somehow done the math.
Well,
and
farms are, but individually, I guess, when I'm talking about a house, the neighbor has one, he spent $30,000 on it. This was 3 or 4 years ago or longer, he put that up on the roof. They paid his electric bill. And what's the payback?
How in the world are we gonna get dime one back?
Yeah, not to mention time value of money. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But- So roof mounted, would you agree that it would still be exempt from zoning, but would require a building inspection permit?
Yeah.
And are you saying for residential or commercial?
Yeah, I mean, we do it for residential, we do it for commercial, we, and
Oh, yeah, even that.
You're talking pitched roof versus a flat roof. I don't know if that makes a difference, whether those things can sustain 3 feet of,
hey, you go out and eat Boston, they're all every.
Kind of solar,
yeah.
right, we have to follow,
Sure.
and that would include that calculation.
Yeah.
The building inspector would have to figure out.
But how do you add that into
Provision.
structure?
Well, 1 point, it says cannot be visible, panels cannot be visible from the ground. But there is provision in I don't remember everything about it. It's in here. I jumped in.
Okay, so we're at, if it goes from the ground, then it's a square feet.
So what would we like the square footage to be? If it was a small structure, say I want to use it, you know,
What about percentage of the lawn area? Do that. 100 square feet, if the average panel was 8 square feet. What would you do? 160 square feet? No, I mean, just ballpark, what you guys. 160 square feet?
I make it the same as a shed,
100?
10 by 10, yeah.
I'll split the difference, 150. You know it's gonna change. You know, I mean, as we get better at this.
right, but a number that makes sense, so the panels are typically 8 feet long.
I'm saying that they're about 4 feet long and they're about like 2 feet wide. Now, maybe
I have no guidance on that, I have no idea.
Like, how many would you need then to power your home? If they're that size?
well, each one of them, they're rated by a rating company that uses an artificial sunlight, okay? And that, when you buy a 100-watt panel, it's the absolute max that thing can put out. So basically one of them's about, on a really good day, maybe about 80 watts out of a 100-watt panel. So your average home, especially in the summertime, you're using air conditioning, what are you doing? You're doing 2,500 watts max.
Sounds good.
2,500, 2.5 kilowatts. So you're right there, you're at, that's 30 panels. That's about 30 panels.
5 by 3, yes.
So and 30 is 110, yeah, that's a lot. That's 240 square feet.
Now, we do have minimum lot coverage requirements. Does that kind of limit the size of these things more than trying to figure out what size we need them to be?
I think so, I'm not,
Well,
yeah.
but what are the lots in Summit? You know, are they 10-acre lots, or are they like Molina just moved with these 15,000 square foot?
Yeah. You're not gonna be a lot of solar panels.
Very good.
You'd almost have to put that it has to be a certain size lot in order to put them on.
Right, it's for the principal lot, I mean, principal says that we need minimum 25 acres.
You know. So maybe for an accessory, maybe you need a minimum of.
Didn't we see sorry,
No.
but didn't we see somewhere that we can require them, that they have to provide like the calculations to justify that the panels that they're putting in are no bigger than what's required to power the, you might have sent us that.
Yeah, yes, now, yeah, that was somebody else's. That, in other words, you had to prove that the installation was no larger than what would be required to power the house.
And you weren't like tripling the size of it to make, talk about like a company by selling it back to the grid.
So if we're gonna do that, does it need, they would need zoning?
Very
Okay. Right, you have to say that this has to be so such and such a size or whatever. And to power the home, that has to be checked before they can put it up, or.
I think they have to have some, there's gonna have to be some kind of permit. And obviously, this is a little bit more complicated than we thought it was going to be at the beginning tonight, right? So this is delved, so
Yes, okay.
I think, I think if we have to understand. If it goes, I say if it goes on the wall, leave it alone. If they want to put it in front of, I don't care what, I mean, we got it in our neighborhood, nobody can put it.
Building permit is on the roof,
And,
zoning is on the ground.
and it's gonna have to be some kind of zoning limitation or something.
Why don't we, I don't know, I kind of like the idea where we just keep it like if it's a shed, if it's 10 by 10, you have to get a zoning permit, if it's below that,
There you go.
it could be, at that point, if it's below that, it's someone just doing it more as a hobby or.
Okay,
Sure, it's
so 100 square feet,
Yeah.
right? She will right back to where you, okay. And then if they
Sorry,
want,
that's one of those.
right, if they want more than, I see that, yeah. Anything below 100 square feet, wire.
100 or below.
Cause there are people that have like battery tender solar panels and things,
Yeah.
put in the yard to charge their RV.
Yeah.
To keep the battery from going bad.
I can see that.
Would you have one of those for your Airstream?
We do on the road. There is 500 watts on the trailer.
But when it's in operation?
When it's in operation, yeah, when it's actually
Set up, yeah.
Very much.
So did we kill that horse?
It's dead.
No, it's not.
Well, she just said to me that if they're on the ground, it's gonna be more than 100 square feet.
Well, I'm saying, and also, if it's roof mounted, you know that it's gonna be more than.
And the roof, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so if it's, well, I thought you were talking about it, it's on the ground. It's on the ground, then the 100 square feet thing, it's on the roof, have it.
Because Christopher and I were down here talking that at some point, solar panels are just gonna be a building material that you use for siding and for roofs anyway.
Roofing material,
And
right?
at that point, they're no longer a solar panel, they're just a building material.
Sure.
Oh, they're gonna teach it at VOTAC, solar panel installation.
Yeah.
I think it's this year. I think it's this year they're gonna. They're gonna grant out into that.
It's
Okay.
It's kind of.
You can, it's just.
All the time.
Now, if the farm doesn't, we want to cut, like, maybe, we don't want to combine.
Okay.
We want to cut over.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or
I'm here.
expired
That- that will-
year even.
So do we need a motion? Okay, Ron, you're the one that's,
I'm tired.
Motion for what? Sure. Plan. Oh,
Just so you know, this is my last meeting.
During the meeting.
oh, so you don't wanna make it, okay, good, thank you.
So we
I'll
don't.
start at 7:30 tomorrow.
And like to,
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We just adjourned in case you guys didn't know.
Second.
Thank you.
No, wait, bye-bye.
Well, it's,
No,
okay, well, time.
no.